Okay, let's have a look at The Dance by Garth Brooks. The acoustic guitar part. And one measure at a time, let's do. Well, we'll do the first 8 measures, which we only have to play 5 of them because the first 3 are our rest for the intro. So we have this snazzy rhythm, dot, 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 dot. You put that into action. So this first measure, you could break it up into 2 halves. Make sure you keep that finger glued there on string 6 fret 3, but there's the first half. Make sure you have that down really well because that sets you up for the rest of the measure. You know, start even slower if you have to. All right, and then try the second half of the measure. Now notice, oops. I have these fingers prepared for that chord when I have to put these down. So they're never too far away. In fact, that's a good habit for every song, everything you do on guitar. Never have your fingertips of your left hand too far away from the strings. So all together in that first measure, then you have this cool little ending to this first phrase. Right back where you started. So you start off, but see, I get this first finger ready for this tricky transition here. That chord. You might have to practice that all by itself. Just that transition. Slower. There, the wrong strings at the last part there. Then you're into, it looks like measure 6 here, similar to things you just done. Well, you might have to get used to that first little bit because it's slightly different than the first measure. Similar, but slightly different because you're doing string 6, 4, 2. Same rhythm though. The other one was, oh, actually it's the same as the last half of the first measure, which I don't know if that's very helpful, but it's the same as the first half of the last half of the first measure. But same rhythm, dot, 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 dot. Oh, and then the end of that measure is the easiest we've had so far. This is the end of measure 6. Still on string 6 fret 3, glued there, but the end of that measure is 6, 4, 2, 6, 3, 4. Okay, so far we have this. Then verse 1. That's measures 4, 5, and 6. Now, so what to keep in mind there, keep this guy glued for most of the time. Prepare finger 1, finger 2, when you have it, keep them really close to the strings, keep them prepared. Think about transitions like this. That transition is really tricky, so that's going to take extra practice all by itself. Okay. Yeah, had to do that a few times to make it sound the way I want it to sound. Okay, measure 7. Let's see what that's like. This is like a C chord. There's this one. Sorry. Thank goodness he does the same thing twice in that measure, so that the first half of the measure and the second half of the measure are identical. So you start off with this C chord, but I'm using my pinky on string 2 fret 3 there. Same rhythm again, dot, 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 dot. That's fun. Now, got to make sure you pick up your pinky when you get to the C. So your pinky's just down for a sec. Because you got to pick it up when you do the 1-0 thing, when they're on top, 1 and 0 on top of each other. And make use of your index and middle fingers on your right hand. Like when you do the 1-0 thing, see if you can see this. I use my index and middle for that. And my thumb comes down to get string 3 sometimes even. All right, I should add this lower maybe. That's part of the problem. Okay, so there's measure 7 turned out to be better than we thought. So that's based on a C chord, and you have to throw your pinky in there and then get it off real quick. Okay, then this next measure 8, is mostly a D chord. Here's that measure again. Now this one has starts off with the same rhythm, but then it all the notes are just faster notes after that. They're all 16th notes. There's just no break in the rhythm. So start off with a D chord, like you normally play a D for those first 3 notes, but then you have to lift just your second finger off. You don't have to lift them all, just your second finger when you go. That's the next 4 notes. Then you have this cool hammer-on thing where you put that finger back on, but you have to pluck string 4 and 1 at the same time and do the hammer-on. So there's a lot going on there, but you put your D chord back together. That's the next 4 notes. And then the last 4 notes are weird because the first 2, you can keep your D chord the way it is, but then on the last 2, you have to lift them up, which is a good thing because you're getting ready for a new chord. You're going back to a G kind of chord. And measure 9 is a whole other story. That's a mess. That's 2 different chords, like a G chord, first half of the measure, and a D chord, the second half of the measure. A lot going on there. Okay, so here's this measure 8 again. No, and I played the first note of measure 9. Sorry about that. So measure 8, start off with your D. Then you have to lift your second finger for the next 4 notes. Then do the hammer-on thing back with string 4 and 1. Next 4 notes. And then the last 4 notes start off with your D chord in place, but then pick all your fingers up when you do 0, 0 at the end. Really nice. Oh, what's this thing? Yeah, there's a sneak peek of measure 9 and 10 for you too, just in case you get wild and start playing those. All right, so have fun with the dance, and hit me with any questions anytime. Thanks for watching.